Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Anita Anand with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi releases a commemorative coin of 75 rupee denomination to mark 75th anniversary of Food and Agriculture Organization. Prime Minister dedicates 17 biofortified varieties of 8 crops to the nation. Prime Minister says farmers are an important pillar in the government's endeavour towards food revolution. Centre deputes high-level teams in 5 states to check spike in COVID cases. Recovery rate reaches 87.56%. And in badminton, Kidambi Srikanth storms into quarter-finals of the Denmark Open. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said the government is committed to protect the minimum support price MSP and government procurement of crops, which he said are essential components of food security.
MSP और सरकारी खरीद देश की फूड सिक्योरिटी का अहम हिस्सा है, इसलिए इसका वैज्ञानिक तरीके से अच्छी व्यवस्था के साथ अच्छा प्रबंधन भी हो और ये आगे भी जारी रहे, ये बहुत आवश्यक है और हम इसके लिए प्रतिबद्ध हैं.
Taking part in a program on the occasion of World Food Day, the Prime Minister released a commemorative coin of 75 rupee denomination to mark the 75th anniversary of Food and Agriculture Organization FAO today. He also dedicated 17 recently developed biofortified varieties of 8 crops to the nation.
आज जो 75 रुपये का विशेष सिक्का जारी किया गया है, वो भारत की 130 करोड़ से अधिक जनता जनार्दन की तरफ से आपकी सेवा भावना का सम्मान है. FAO के वर्ल्ड फूड प्रोग्राम को इस वर्ष का नोबेल शांति पुरस्कार मिलना भी एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण सीमा चिन्ह है और भारत को खुशी है कि इसमें भी भारत की साझेदारी और भारत का जुड़ाव बहुत ही ऐतिहासिक रहा है.
The Prime Minister said farmers in the country are an important pillar in the government's endeavour towards food revolution. He said the farmers played a significant role in maintaining a robust food supply chain in the country even during the tough times of coronavirus pandemic. The Prime Minister added the government initiated a multidimensional approach to address the issue of malnutrition in the country.
एक तरफ नेशनल न्यूट्रिशन मिशन शुरू हुआ तो दूसरी तरफ हर उस फैक्टर पर काम किया गया जो कुपोषण बढ़ाने का कारण था. बहुत बड़े स्तर पर परिवार और समाज के व्यवहार में परिवर्तन के लिए भी काम किया. स्वच्छ भारत मिशन के तहत भारत में 11 करोड़ से ज्यादा शौचालय बने. दूर दराज वाले इलाकों में शौचालय बनने से जहां स्वच्छता आई, वहीं डायरिया जैसी अनेक बीमारियों में भी कमी देखने को मिली.
He added special initiatives were taken to enhance sanitization and hygiene standards, drinking water through Jal Jeevan Mission, construction of 11 crore toilets, immunization under Indradhanush Mission, availability of 1 rupee sanitary pads, and focus on educating girls were pushed to bring holistic well-being for everyone in the country. The Prime Minister said till 2014 only 1 variety of seed was made available to the farmers. However, the government has in the last 6 years introduced 45 new varieties of seeds in the country.
अब देश में ऐसी फसलों को बढ़ावा दिया जा रहा है जिसमें पौष्टिक पदार्थ जैसे प्रोटीन, आयरन, जिंक इत्यादि ज्यादा होते हैं. मोटे अनाज मिलेट्स जैसे रागी, ज्वार, बाजरा, कोडो, जोंगोरा, बार्ली, कोटकी, इन जैसे अनाज की पैदावार बढ़े, लोग अपने भोजन में इन्हें शामिल करें, इस और प्रयास बढ़ाए जा रहे हैं.
Prime Minister Modi said even when the world was reeling under the corona pandemic, the government reached out to the people in the country and ensured availability of nutritious food to over 80 crore people. PM Modi said till 2014, only 11 states in the country had implemented the Food Security Act. The current government, he said, has implemented it for all the states and union territories. He said India is incessantly undertaking necessary reforms to promote global food security. Lauding the new agriculture-related acts, he said, they will fortify the mandis and also the farmers in the country.
बीते 6 साल में देश की इन कृषि मंडियों में बेहतर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर तैयार करने के लिए 2,500 करोड़ रुपए से अधिक का निवेश किया जा चुका है। इन मंडियों में आईटी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर तैयार करने के लिए भी सैकड़ों करोड़ रुपए खर्च किए गए हैं। इन मंडियों को इनाम यानी नेशनल एग्रीकल्चर मार्केट से भी जोड़ा जा रहा है। एपीएमसी कानून में जो संशोधन किया गया है, उनका लक्ष्य इन एपीएमसी को अधिक कॉम्पिटिटिव बनाने का है। किसानों को लागत का 1.5 गुना दाम एमएसपी के रूप में मिले, इसके लिए भी अनेक कदम उठाए गए हैं।
The Prime Minister said a large network of farmer producer organizations, FPOs, are also being created to bring revolutionary changes in the life of small farmers. He said the new legislations will ensure that middlemen will have no role in the sale of farm produce in the markets. He added the farmers will also be assured of good returns for their produce due to these new provisions. Prime Minister asserted that these new provisions give liberty to the farmers to terminate the contract anytime they want. He also reassured that the contracts made under the new provisions will pertain only to the farm produce and in no way jeopardize the land of the farmers. The Prime Minister also thanked the FAO for declaring 2023 as the International Year of Millets and said that the declaration will help farmers further. He said the government has incentivized cultivation of crops which are nutrient-rich and also ensure good yield to the farmers. The program was also attended by Union Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar, Women and Child Development Minister Smriti Irani, senior officials of FAO and other ministries. It was witnessed by Anganwadis, Krishi Vigyan Kendras, organic and horticulture missions across the country.
The country is witnessing a gradual trend of declining average of daily COVID cases over the past 5 weeks. The tally of daily new cases has recorded a downturn, with the figures coming down from almost 90,000 daily cases a month ago to only around 63,000 new cases being reported in the last 24 hours. The resultant positive effect is also seen in terms of sharp decline in number of active cases, which currently stands at nearly 804,000. With nearly 70,000 recoveries in the last 24 hours, only 10.92% of the total reported cases in the country remain under hospitalization or home isolation. The number of recoveries in the country continues its upward streak and is around 8 times the number of active cases. The country continues to register steady growth in terms of COVID recoveries and has registered a cumulative recovery rate of 87.56%. With around 64,53,000 recoveries so far, India continues to occupy the top global position in terms of number of recovered corona patients. India also continues to have one of the lowest deaths per million population globally. 22 states and union territories have recorded lower fatality rates per million of the population when compared to the national average. The case fatality rate currently stands at 1.52%, with 895 deaths being reported in the last 24 hours.
Over 10,28,000 samples were tested for COVID-19 in the country in the last 24 hours. With this, the cumulative testing figure has risen to over 9,22,54,000. The central government and the Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR, have scaled up the testing infrastructure in a calibrated manner. India's testing capacity has touched 15 lakh per day, ensuring easily accessible COVID-19 tests for all. Tests done per million of the population has also risen manifold in a span of 2 months, and currently around 21 states and union territories have recorded higher tests per million than the national average. Despite increase in testing, the positivity rate remains low and hovers around 8%. The centre has deputed high-level teams to Kerala, Karnataka, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh and West Bengal in view of surge in the number of new COVID-19 cases in these states in the recent days. Each team comprises of a joint secretary, one public health expert to look after the public health aspects, and one clinician to look after infection prevention practices and clinical management protocol being followed by the state. Union Health Ministry said the teams will support the state efforts towards strengthening containment, surveillance, testing, infection prevention and control measures and efficient clinical management of the positive cases. The central teams will also guide in effectively managing the challenges related to timely diagnosis and follow-up. As an ongoing effort to strengthen efforts of various states and union territories for COVID management, the central government has been deputing central teams from time to time to visit various states and union territories. These teams interact with the state union territories authorities and get a first-hand understanding of the challenges and issues being faced by them so as to strengthen their ongoing activities and remove bottlenecks, if any.
Head of the Oncology Department of All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi, Dr. S.V.S. Dev says, during the last couple of months we have proved how to protect ourselves from coronavirus. Talking to AIR News, Dr. Dev said we should not lose patience and should keep following COVID-appropriate behavior by masking, sanitizing and maintaining physical distance.
During the last 6 months, we have learned how to fight corona. Now, winter and festival season are fast approaching in India. I request all my brothers and sisters to be more careful and follow 3 important precautions. Wearing of masks, hand washing with sanitizer or soap and water, and maintaining physical distance, especially in crowded areas, maintain a distance of 2 yards. These 3 precautions, you can save yourself and your family and society from corona.
You're listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headline before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi releases a commemorative coin of 75 rupee denomination to mark 75th anniversary of Food and Agriculture Organization. Prime Minister dedicates 17 biofortified varieties of 8 crops to the nation. Prime Minister says farmers are an important pillar in the government's endeavour towards food revolution. Centre deputes high-level teams in 5 states to check spike in COVID cases. Recovery rate reaches 87.56%. And in badminton, Kidambi Srikanth storms into quarterfinals of the Denmark Open. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
In Tripura, 172 fresh cases of COVID-19 were registered, while 371 patients were discharged after recovery in the past 24 hours. Also, with the death of 4 patients yesterday, the total death toll rose to 320. In Maharashtra, as per the State Health Bulletin, Pune district has the highest number of active COVID-19 patients. It is followed by Thane district. Mumbai is now ranked 3rd. Mumbai has the highest number of COVID-19 patients since the onset of the corona outbreak, but given the latest figures, the picture seems to be changing. At present, 40,364 patients are undergoing treatment in Pune district, 30,229 in Thane district, and 22,255 in Mumbai. A total of 1,92,459 patients are undergoing treatment in the state. About half of these patients are in Mumbai, Pune, and Thane. In Gujarat, with the death of 11 patients in the last 24 hours, the COVID-19 death toll has crossed 3,600 mark. According to State Health Department, the last 100 deaths were recorded in 10 days compared to the earlier average of 8 days. Our correspondent reports that the state government has granted permission to Bharat Biotech for conducting phase 3 clinical trial of COVID-19 vaccine, Covaxin. More from our correspondent.
Health and Family Welfare Department of Gujarat government has given permission to 5 medical colleges and hospitals to start clinical trials of Covaxin. This indigenous vaccine is developed by Bharat Biotech in collaboration with the Indian Council of Medical Research (ICMR) and National Institute of Virology (NIV). According to sources, the approval has been given to Bharat Biotech after their application for Phase 3 efficiency and safety clinical trials. It will be carried out under stringent rules, regulations and SOPs. The 5 medical colleges and hospitals selected for vaccine trials include BJ Medical College, GMERS Medical College, MK Shah Medical College and SGV Hospital in Ahmedabad and GMERS Medical College in Gandhinagar. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
Karnataka is taking stringent measures to contain the pandemic by ensuring increase in testing and enforcing COVID-19 norms among the citizens. With around 2,000 active COVID cases and 170 deaths and a recovery rate of over 89%, Udupi district in coastal Karnataka has launched an awareness campaign called My Family, My Responsibility campaign to infuse a sense of responsibility among the family members to be vigilant about the spread of coronavirus. The Deputy Commissioner of Udupi district, G. Jagadish, spoke to AIR News about the purpose and goal of the awareness campaign.
The district administration is conducting a My Family, My Responsibility campaign where our health and other department staff visit each household, ask the household to take pledge to protect their own family, post the pledge on the wall of the house, take signature on the counterfile of the pledge sheet and come. This is supposed to drive larger public awareness and responsibility in control of COVID in the district.
Karnataka has reported 7,43,848 COVID-19 cases till date, and with a recovery rate of 83%, the active cases remain at 1,13,538. In the last 7 days, the positivity rate is at 7.4% and case fatality rate is 0.9%. In July, the case positivity rate in the state was 14% and fatality rate was 1.9%. The state has considerably increased COVID testing. In Tamil Nadu, the active COVID-19 caseload has come down further to below the 42,000 mark. In all, 4,410 people, including 1,148 in Chennai, tested positive for the infection in the last 24 hours. The State Health Department bulletin says 5,055 patients recovered from the illness. More from our correspondent.
For the fourth successive day, the new cases of COVID-19 has been below the 5,000 mark in Tamil Nadu yesterday. The death toll has also come down under 50, the first time since many months. Another key development is the active caseload that has come down to below 42,000 mark. 89,000 people, including nearly 14,000 in Chennai, were tested yesterday for the disease, and the total test so far has exceeded 84 lakhs. In Chennai, the infection is more in the order of those in the age groups of 30 to 39 years, 50 to 59 years, and then 40 to 49 years, followed by 20 to 29 years in that order. Others contribute to only a small portion of the total tally in the state capital. Jai Singh, AIR News, Chennai.
In Bihar, COVID-19 recovery rate has improved to 94.21%, which is the highest in the country. Recovery rate in Andhra Pradesh is 93.5%, while 92% is in Tamil Nadu. Pratyay Amrit, Principal Secretary of State Health Department, said recovery rate has improved in Bihar following a large number of corona testing.
Two of Europe's biggest capitals are in trouble as Paris imposed overnight curfew and London banned people from different households from meeting indoors to combat the spread of COVID-19. The announcements came as countries across Europe tightened restrictions following a surge in the cases in most of the countries. French President Emmanuel Macron announced that the capital and the cities of Marseille, Grenoble, Montpellier, Toulouse, Saint-Étienne, Lille, Rouen and Lyon will face a 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew beginning midnight tonight. Violating the nighttime curfew will carry a fine. In France, a further 30,621 infections were confirmed yesterday, up from 22,591 the day before. UK Health Secretary Matt Hancock announced millions of people in London, Essex, York and other areas face tougher Tier 2 COVID measures from Saturday. Under this high alert level, there is a ban on households mixing indoors, including in pubs and restaurants. The World Bank has called for emergency financing of $25 billion to help the world's poorest countries grapple with the massive challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic. World Bank Chief David Malpass told finance ministers and central bank governors of the G20 major economies that he would propose the supplemental financing package later this month to deputies of the International Development Association, IDA. Mr. Malpass expressed concern over the rising risk of disorderly defaults among low-income countries. He said the World Bank and International Monetary Fund have proposed a joint action plan to help the most heavily indebted IDA countries.
Back home, Prime Minister and senior BJP leader Narendra Modi will address 12 rallies for the National Democratic Alliance during the campaign in Bihar Assembly elections. Talking to reporters in Patna today, in charge Bihar BJP Devendra Fadnavis said Prime Minister will address the first election rally at Gaya and then 2 more rallies at Sasaram and Bhagalpur on 23rd of October. He said JDU President Nitish Kumar and leaders of NDA allies Hindustani Awam Morcha and Vikashshil Insan Party VIP will share theirs with Prime Minister in all NDA rallies across the state. In Bihar, the nomination process comes to a close today in 94 constituencies for the second phase of state assembly elections. Scrutiny will be held tomorrow and the last date of withdrawal of candidature will be 19th of October. For this phase, polling will take place on 3rd of November. Several candidates are rushing to the offices of respective returning officers, ROs, to submit their nomination papers. Several candidates of RJD and Congress are filing their nominations as both the parties formally declared their list of party candidates just a day before closure of nomination process for the second phase. The campaigning is in full swing in the poll-bound 71 assembly segments of the first phase. Star campaigners of political parties are addressing rallies in support of their alliance and party candidates. More from our correspondent.
BJP President JP Nadda, Bihar election in charge, and former Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis, JDU President and Chief Minister Nitish Kumar leading the poll campaign of NDA. Addressing an election rally in Banka, Mr. Nadda said, Prime Minister Narendra Modi-led government has established communal harmony in the country. The time of clashes on the name of religion, caste and other divides are now matter of past. NDA leaders today jointly issued a report card of the alliance in Patna, which comprises achievement and success of Prime Minister Narendra Modi-led government at the center and Chief Minister Nitish Kumar-led government in Bihar. Mr. Fadnavis said the poll campaign of senior party leader and Prime Minister Narendra Modi will start from 23rd of October. He will address 12 public meetings in support of NDA candidates. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi will kickstart the poll campaign of the party on 23rd October. The RJD will formally launch its poll campaign from today. Grand Alliance Chief Ministerial candidate and RJD leader Tejasvi Prasad Yadav will address rallies in Jagdishpur, Barhara and Sahpur. Dharmendra Kumar Rai, AIR News, Patna.
Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has written to Union Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank seeking amendments in the Delhi University Act so that more colleges and universities can be established in the city. Addressing a virtual media briefing, Mr. Kejriwal said there is a need to open more colleges and universities in Delhi to provide higher education opportunities to students. He said around 2.5 lakh students in Delhi pass Class 12 board exams every year, and of them, only 1.25 lakh get admission in city colleges. He said there are 91 colleges and institutes affiliated to Delhi University, while IP University, which offers professional degrees, has 127 colleges and institutes. Mr. Kejriwal said he has requested the Union Education Minister for amending the DU Act so that more colleges and universities can be established in the city. The renowned Sabrimala temple in Kerala will be opening for devotees from tomorrow after a 6-month-long break. After the break, devotees will throng the famous Lord Ayappa temple, Sabrimala, from Saturday onwards. The temple doors opened for the rituals in the Malayalam month of Thulam this morning, whereas the pilgrims will be allowed only from tomorrow. It is for the first time the temple is reopening for devotees amid the COVID-19 outbreak.
To clear the rush during forthcoming Dussehra and Diwali festivals and to ensure better convenience to the passengers, Western Railways has planned 240 services of 8 pairs of special trains. According to a press release issued by Western Railways, the 8 pairs of special trains will be running to various destinations for the benefit of passengers. Out of these 8 pairs of special trains, 6 pairs of trains will run from Mumbai and 1 pair from Indore. 1 pair of special trains will be passing over Western Railways with halts at Vasai Road, Surat, Vadodara and Ratlam stations.
Ace Indian shuttler Kidambi Srikanth stormed into the quarterfinals of the Denmark Open with a straight-game win over Jason Anthony Ho at Odense last night. Back in action after a 7-month-long break due to the ongoing pandemic, the 5th seed Indian took 33 minutes to get the better of his Canadian opponent, 21-15, 21-14, in the men's singles second-round match of the Super 750 tournament. This is the only event happening this year in Badminton World Federation's calendar. Srikanth, the former world number 1 and currently ranked 14th, will next face the winner of the other second-round match between second seed Tien Chun Cho of Chinese Taipei and Ireland's Nat Nguyen. In IPL cricket, in today's encounter, Kolkata Knight Riders will clash with Mumbai Indians at Abu Dhabi. Yesterday, Kings 11 Punjab recorded a thrilling last ball 8-wicket victory over Royal Challengers Bangalore at Sharjah. Opting to bat first, Bangalore posted a total of 171 for 6 in 20 overs with the help of skipper Virat Kohli's 48 of 39.
In Maharashtra, rains have disrupted life in Sangli, Solapur, Ratnagiri and Raigad districts. The Met Department has forecast heavy rains in different parts of the state for the next 2 days. However, the weather in Mumbai has been clear and sunny since morning. More from our Mumbai correspondent.
The water level of Krishna River in Sangli has risen by 36 feet. Many houses in Kakanagar, Dattanagar, Suryavanshi Plot and Bhimnagar were flooded. 55 bridges have been submerged and 90 roads have been closed in Sangli. Krishna, Manganga, Agrani, Yera, Bor and Korda rivers are flooded and villages along the river have been warned. In North Solapur, 40 persons from Pathri and Mallav Vasti were evacuated by NDRF teams. Due to rough seas, about 350 boats have taken shelter at Dabhol port in Ratnagiri district. Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray has asked the state administration, army, navy and air force to be on high alert to tackle any emergency arising out of heavy rains and flood-like situation in parts of western Maharashtra and Marathwada. Madhuri Pange, AIR News, Mumbai.
The incessant rain has created a lot of damage and disruption in Andhra Pradesh. At least 6 districts in the state have been hit by a severe depression and nearly 450 villages have been affected by the floods and hundreds of kilometers of roads are damaged. Heavy rain continued with a brief interval yesterday and continued to pour in Andhra Pradesh.
Now let us take a look at the weather update for the day. The national capital Delhi will have mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature was recorded at 16 degrees Celsius. Maximum will be around 34. Mumbai will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain. In Chennai, there will be generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. Kolkata will have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, in Jammu, minimum temperature was 17 degrees, while maximum will be around 34. The city will have a mainly clear sky. In Srinagar, sky will be mainly clear. Leh in Ladakh will have a mainly clear sky too. Gilgit will experience a mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Temperature will hover between 8 and 24 degrees Celsius. In Muzaffarabad, the minimum temperature was 10 degrees and the maximum will be around 33. The place will experience mainly clear sky. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi releases a commemorative coin of 75 rupee denomination to mark 75th anniversary of Food and Agriculture Organization. Prime Minister dedicates 17 bio-fortified varieties of 8 crops to the nation. Prime Minister says farmers are an important pillar in the government's endeavour towards food revolution. Centre deputes high-level teams in 5 states to check spike in COVID cases. Recovery rate reaches 87.56%. In badminton, Kidambi Srikanth storms into quarterfinals of the Denmark Open. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.com and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the Midday News.